Welcome back to the Protest Sports NFL Network with Sean K. Tech. I am back with another video. Like it's a glory to God, for guys and our guys open doors and pay with no doors and payments. Davio, I'm here to wrap out the NFL. And today we're going to talk about an NFL tier list. What is your team? Why put your team at and why not put your team there? I'll be very careful, being respectful to people's teams as much as possible. And we'll have an S through F tier and what does each tier stand for. And we'll get into that, man. Let's get right into it. So S tier teams are your teams that are Super Bowl contenders. I'm only gonna put maybe 4 or 5 teams on that list. 18 are teams that are fringe Super Bowl contenders, but definitely surefire playoff participants. B tier are teams that are fringe playoff teams that can maybe win 8 to 10 games. C tier are teams I think that are a year away. So they'll probably win 6 to 7 games or maybe 8 games, but those teams are teams that are they're missing a piece or two. Maybe I might need a new head coach or something like that to get there. D teams are teams that are going to probably win anywhere between 4 to 6 games. And those teams are teams that uh, they're in the rebuilding stage. Even the D and F tier, these teams just stink, and they're going to take a long, long time before they get anywhere. Let's get right into it. So let's go ahead and share the screen, and let's start this NFL tier list. Shall we? Should be fun. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 20 subscribers, but hit the subscribe button, like button, share button. If you are subscribed to the PSN Commanders Network, thank you so much for your support on the Commander channel. We are on the road to 8,000 subscribers on that channel. Please subscribe and hype and all that good jazz to help the YouTube channels hit the algorithm. Let's start with the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals, they went 4-13 last year. Drafted Jeremiah Love. Josh Sweat kind of is in limbo. I don't know if I'm going to trade him or not. The guy got like Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson, of course, Jeremiah Love now. They improved their offensive line a bit. Paris Johnson Jr., one of the best left tackles in football, but they also have a contract dispute going on with Jacoby Brissett right now, so he might not start the season starting quarterback. They might start a guy like Carson Beck. They're in a really interesting situation. I'm gonna put them in the D tier. They're probably a 5-win team, more than likely. I just don't think they're gonna win more than 5 games, given the circumstances of what they got going on with their roster right now. Not the best roster in football, and I think they're a long ways before really contending for anything super significant. The Falcons. Falcons are interesting. The Falcons, they did lose Michael Penix with injury last year. They pick up 2 in free agency. They didn't have a first round pick due to the James Pierce Jr. trade. Speaking of James Pierce Jr., he had the incident with his ex-girlfriend. We already know about that. That's a little crazy. But he is back in minicamp. I guess he might not be getting suspended. We will see. But that's kind of in limbo. But he's a big part of the defense, having 10.5 sacks as a rookie last year. Got Darnell Mooney. Oh, no, Darnell Mooney's gone now. He's now a New York Football Giant. He left the Falcons to go to the Giants. You still have Jahan Dotson, who you picked up from free agency. He left the Eagles after being traded from the Commanders. Drake London got a big, massive contract. Kyle Pitts on the franchise tag. So you got Bijan. You picked up Brian Robinson Jr., another former Commander. Y'all Falcon like chop at the former Commander shop a lot. I've been peeping that, but another topic for another day. Another topic for another day. But the Falcons are an interesting team. I don't know who's going to start between Tua or Michael Penix. I think they want Penix to be the starter, obviously, because they invested that first round pick in him. But also they have a new coach in Kevin Stefanski, who was not the part of the drafting process or of Michael Penix, nor the new team president and former soon-to-be Hall of Fame quarterback Matt Ryan either. So very interesting case with the Falcons. Don't know where to put them. I will put them at the top of the C tier. They'll probably win 8 games. I could see an 8-win team out of the Atlanta Falcons. Baltimore Ravens. Fire John Harbaugh. Fire John Harbaugh. Let Isaiah Likely walk. After he John Harbaugh went to the Giants, they likely took his hind pots with him. Uh, Still pretty much the same roster. So I got like Roquan Smith on defense, Marlon Humphrey, Nate Wiggins, Kyle Hamilton, one of the best safeties in football. They get Menabike back from that neck injury. Interesting team. Baltimore, Jesse Minter's now their new head coach. The defensive wizard from the Los Angeles Chargers, their former defensive coordinator. I'm going to put the Baltimore Ravens in the A tier. I think they're a French Super Bowl contender. I can't put them in the for sure, surefire Super Bowl contenders. They're definitely making the playoffs though, and I think they're gonna be a good team to watch this year. I think they're gonna be pretty fun. Buffalo Bills, very similar to the Ravens here. They have a new head coach. They got rid of Sean McDermott. They promoted Joe Brady to head coach. So, Josh Allen will still get to keep his offensive play caller. When Joe Brady was calling the plays last year, the offense looked a lot more fluid. The run game was pretty potent with James Cook. They did trade for DJ Moore. They're going to have a wide receiver one in that room for the first time since they got rid of Stephon Diggs. I think DJ Moore is a low end one, but he's still a one nonetheless. So that's a pretty good look. Who did they spend their first round pick on? What did they spend their first round pick on? What did they spend their first round pick on? They didn't have a first round pick this year. Okay. They didn't have a first round pick this year. I think they traded out the first round. Either they traded out the first round this year, the first round pick or something, but they didn't have a pick in the first round. But the Bills are interesting. They got Josh Allen. We know the main characters of the team. So, see if Matt Milano's back. I'm not sure if he's still in a contract with them. They lose AJ Epinenza to the Eagles. They are an interesting team. I'm gonna put them not in B tiers for teams that are French playoff teams. I'm gonna put them in the A tier. I can't say they're full-fledged Super Bowl contenders, but I do think they're definitely a surefire playoff team. Carolina Panthers. They went 8-9 last year. Did win the NFC South. They did get better by picking up Devin Lloyd and Jalen Phillips. They did draft Dylan Diamond. How you pronounce his last name? Out of Oregon, the safety in the first round. They upgraded the tight end position too. Let's see what the Panthers draft looks like real quick. So they didn't draft Dylan. They drafted Monroe Feeling out of Georgia. My fault. Sorry, my apologies. They drafted Lee Hunter, defensive tackle. So I like that pickup a lot too. Chris Brazzell. That's a gamble, but you're taking a good one. I think he's really good. Will lead the third. Solid pick. Sam Hack out of Kansas State. I like that pickup as well. Zaire Wheatley. So all their 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 draft picks will all make the roster. I believe. I think that the Panthers did improve this offseason a lot. They're probably favorites to win the NFC South, given they won it last year and they improved their roster. I'm gonna put them in the B tier. I think they're a French playoff team. I think they're the top of the B tier. I don't think they're a surefire playoff team, just because they did go 8-9 last year. But yeah, I'm gonna put them in the B tier. They can probably win 9, maybe 10 games, and definitely be in the playoff hunt and probably make the playoffs. Chicago Bears, 12-5 last year. Caleb Williams had a phenomenal season overall, but I don't think he was good at completing the layup passes last year for the Chicago Bears. I think he definitely struggled with that. I think it's something he needs to work on. Outside of that, the defense was pretty decent as well. And they won't not have a last place schedule this year. They'll find the first place schedule. So it'll be a little tougher, but I'm going to put them in the A tier. They should make the playoffs. Like I think they're a good enough team to make the playoffs. I think they should make the playoffs. I'm gonna put them in the A tier. I'm gonna get the Browns out of the way. Put them in the D tier. I won't put anyone at F. I don't think just because F I think is super disrespectful. The Browns got a long way to go. We'll leave it like that. I'm not gonna even. Deshaun Watson starting quarterback. You got Diddy Watson. You got Shedeur. You got perfect timing. You got Diddy Watson, and you got a guy with Taylor Green who was a complete project. And on top of that, you have Dylan Gabriel who stinks. Let's just move on. I'm not going to waste my time with the Browns. Let's get to the Bengals. Bengals are interesting. I'm just saying, put no one in the S tier yet. I'm not putting the Bengals there, though. The Bengals are definitely a tier team, a B tier team. I don't know if their defense is improving to make the playoffs for sure, but they should be a team that should be fighting for a playoff spot. I truly believe that heart of hearts. I think they're one of those teams. Dallas Cowboys. They improved their defense drafting Caleb Downs. They traded for Rashawn Gary. Quinn Williams will be there for a full 17-game slate. Their defense should be improved. Put them in the A tier. I can't put them in nothing but A. They should make the playoffs. They have no reason not to make the playoffs. They probably might be favorites to win the NFC East. If not the Philadelphia Eagles, but we'll get to the Eagles in a moment. Denver Broncos. Really good year last year. Went to the conference championship game. They did pick up Jalen Waddle in a trade. They suck. I'm kidding. Yeah, they're in the F tier. I'm just kidding. This is the first team I'm going to put in the S tier. I have a lot of faith in the Broncos, man. They went to the conference championship last year. They had a tougher road than the Patriots did, I believe, because they had to play. Well, they didn't play them in the first round, but they had the first round bye, number 1 seed, right? So, got a home game versus the Bills. That's no slouch. That's no easy task. I know they lost to the Patriots and they had Bo Nix, but they were very competitive in that game, given that they did not have their starting quarterback. You truly thought that the Patriots were going to run away with that game. So, but I believe in the Broncos. Patrick Surtain is the best corner in football. Their pass rush is pretty good. Led by Nick Bonito. Tight end room got a little better as well. The running back room is solid. Then they lost J.K. Dobbins, I think. I'm not sure. But their running back room is still solid. You add Jalen Waddle to the Bryant kid, Pat Bryant, Courtland Sutton. Yeah, this team's tough, bro. And they're good defensively. They're good interior defensive tackles as well. Yeah, they're tough, bro. They're a tough team to beat. And they just went to conference. So obviously, I think they will be Super Bowl contenders. Lions went 9-8 last year. Well, 8-9, either one. Missed the playoffs for the first time in the Dan Campbell era since like his first year in Detroit. Had to get rid of Taylor Decker. Trade David Montgomery away. They're weird. I'm gonna put the Lions because how tough their division is. I'm gonna put them in B tier. I think they're a fringe playoff team. I'm not sure they're gonna make the playoffs next year or not. They should make the playoffs. I'm putting them on top of the Panthers. No, their division's tough. I'll put them right behind the Panthers. They're tough, man. It's tough. You know what? No, I'm gonna go on a limb a little bit. They should make the playoffs. They're too good not to make the playoffs. Green Bay's gonna be too. Mike is out for a minute. They lost a couple of receivers this offseason. They lost Romeo Doubs. They traded Dontavian Wicks away. Tucker Kraft, like he's saying he's going to come back pretty soon. They had a Josh Jacobs nonsense going on. Yeah, I'm gonna put them B tier. I think they should make the playoffs, but I can't guarantee their playoff spot. Next we're going to talk about the Houston Texans. Houston Texans, to me, and this is this if CJ bounces back, right? That's the only question on this football team. Their offensive weapons are solid. Their running game is solid, like on paper, with the running backs that they do have. And they add David Montgomery as well. Question is CJ Stroud. Can CJ Stroud get back to 75% of his rookie form? Not necessarily his rookie form. I think his the way he plays as a rookie, it's gonna be hard to really say how he would do this year. But in the regular season, he did play well. Went 18 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He had 2 bad playoff games in a row though. So that's gonna be tough. The postseason he has to play better. But I believe he's gonna bounce back and he's gonna play better in the postseason. So I'm gonna have the Texans. Appreciate how good that defense is. S tier. I believe they're Super Bowl contenders. that's me assuming CJ to play. Colts, I got them in the C tier. Daniel Jones come off an Achilles injury. Their quarterback play is spotty, even with Daniel Jones. Just when I got him there. And they traded Michael Pittman away. They're in a really weird spot. I don't really know. They could make the playoffs. They could be in that B tier, be a friend playoff team, but I think they're destined to win 7 or 8 games. And that's just how I feel about it. Jacksonville, to me, is a B tier team. They're not C tier. They're not a bad football team or average football team. I think they're above average. They're bottom of A. I think they should make the playoffs. Don't know though. AFC is weird. We're gonna skip the Chiefs. We'll get to them in a second. We'll put the Raiders in the D tier. They have a ways to go. They don't have money. They don't have many weapons on offense for real. They drafted a player. I just drafted what's his number 1 overall. They got a couple of weapons. Jalen Naylor they picked up. Dante Thornton Jr. Trey Tucker solid. Brock Bowers is a dog. Genty's gonna be a dog. The offensive line's a little shaky. Defensively, they got a lot better. Can't put them in the C tier. I don't think they're gonna win 7, 8 games. So that's why I'm putting top of B tier right behind the Cardinals, or right in front of the Cardinals. It could probably be a 6-win team. They might win 7 games. I'm gonna put the Chiefs in B tier. Mahomes come off an injury. Rashee Rice is doing weird crap. He can't get off the weed. He be doing nonsense, but he's out of jail now. But until he really straightens up his act and really lock in with him being their wide receiver 1 is kind of scary. Chargers are definitely a playoff team. They made it without their tackles last year. They made it up with their tackles this year. So we're gonna go ahead and swap these guys out. We're gonna put them over the Jags. Miami's an F tier team. They're the only team going to F. They're just bad. I'm not wasting my time with that. I'm gonna get these bad teams out the way. Who else is really bad? Jets, you're in D tier. Don't think you're that good. Yeah, they're in D tier. I'm gonna put who's technically bad. I'm gonna put the Commanders in. No, we're not worried about the Commanders right now. These are good teams, a decent team. Vikings to me are C tier. They're right behind the Falcons in front of the Colts. No, they're in B. They're a French playoff team, I think. Yeah. It's actually bad. Giants, they're in C tier. I can't put them in French playoff team. I think they'll probably win 6 or 7 games. I'll put them there. Let's continue. Rams are in S tier. We're not wasting our time with this. They're one of the best teams in the league. They're like that. They're top of the S. They're number 1 contender to win the Super Bowl. We're not wasting our time with that. We know how good a roster is on paper. Patriots. After acquiring AJ Brown, you gotta put him in. Have to put him in. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 AFC teams here. I finished with 7 AFC teams right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No pun intended. Those are 7 AFC playoff teams. And your first team out will be would be these 2 teams. Maybe we'll see. Let's continue. Tennessee Titans. I'm not going to consider them bad, but they improved their roster a lot this offseason. I'm going to put them in C tier. I'm going to put them right behind the Falcons and right in front of the Colts. I think that Cam Williams took a huge second-year leap. I believe the weapons around him are a lot better. Drafting Cardinal Tate, picking up Wanda Robinson. Calvin really is still there. They did lose Chig Okonkwo, but you lose Chig Okonkwo. I think they still have a really good supporting cast around Cam Ward. Did pick up Daniel Bellinger. So, I think the Titans are gonna win 6 games, maybe 7. If anything better than the Colts, though. The Colts are in a weird position, man. They're weird. They're weird. Let's get to the other NFC East teams real quick. I'm going to the Eagles. Eagles are going to be in A tier. They're definitely making the playoffs. They're too good of a team not to make the postseason. I'm going to put them behind these teams and put them right behind the Bears. Eagles are very good. Jalen Hurts is still a very good quarterback. He's not a top tier quarterback by any stretch of imagination. I don't know why people love to put him in that ilk, and he's not in that ilk for real. But hopefully you can get that going. Because if he doesn't, they won't make the playoffs. But got the Mekhi Lemon, got Smitty 1, traded AJ away. Picked up Wicks, Dontavian Wicks, that is. Defensively, so pretty good with Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Quinyon Mitchell. They picked up Week Woolen, so they have the trio now: Woolen, Mitchell, and DeJean at corner. They lose Reed Blankenship. Andrew Makuba should ready to be step up and ready to play that safety role now. I don't know who will be starting next to Andrew Makuba. We'll figure that out. Linebacker Jahad Campbell should be ready to step in for Nakobe Dean. They did trade for Jonathan Gennard to step in for Jalen Phillips. So the Eagles had guys to replace the guys they lost, and they gained a little bit too, getting Eli Stowers in the draft as well. The Eagles are very interesting. They should win the NFC East, I believe. So I have them over the Cowboys, but we'll see what happens. But they should be a fun team to watch, I believe, this year. And they're definitely 10-11 win team for sure, and they should definitely make the playoffs. I'm going to put the Saints in the absolute bottom of B tier. Though I think the Falcons are more talented than the Saints, I think the Saints have a better quarterback situation, so I have them above the Falcons. Falcons are a more talented overall team, but I do believe that the Saints have a better quarterback situation. I want to put Steelers in B tier. Steelers are a French playoff team, and they will continue to be that. They're a team that's going to be trying to fight for a playoff spot. That's how to put the parity the league looks like. Aaron Rodgers is back, which is good for them and all that good jazz. I'm going to put the San Francisco 49ers in S. If healthy is always a problem, but I think the 49ers are a Super Bowl contender between them and the Rams. Speaking of the division, I think that the Seahawks are about to fall off a bit. Lost Kenneth Walker, lost their offensive coordinator. I'm gonna put them at the top, at the absolute bottom of A. They should make the playoffs, but I think they will, but I don't think they will last too long when they get there, though. I want to put both the Bucks and the Commanders in B tier. I think both these teams are fringe playoff teams. The NFC East is gonna be tough for the Commanders, and I think it's gonna be really rough. Jaden Daniels is back, which is great. JD5 has returned from a number of injuries that he had suffered last year, which is huge for the Commanders. They need their franchise quarterback. They drafted Antonio Williams with the 71st overall pick. They picked up Sonny Styles with the number 7 pick. So I think their defense can improve. They picked up Adafe Owe, Clayton Chase on. Dorrance Armstrong's coming from his injury as well. I think the pass rush should be better. I can't put them as a definite playoff team because how tough the division is and how tough their schedule is to begin. They got at Philly, at Dallas. Start the year, they can start 0-2, so that's a little rough on the start. And then you have the Super Bowl champion, Seattle Seahawks coming to town in week 3. Should be a tough stretch for the Commanders. They come out of it 1-2 at least, or even 2-1. They should make the playoffs, but I'm gonna put them at top of B, right behind the Panthers. And I have the Bucks in front of the Commanders, but right behind. Actually, I'm gonna put them in front of the Panthers. Nah, I don't know. The Bucks are weird because the Bucks have historically been better than the Panthers, but I think the Panthers have a better roster overall, given that the Bucks did lose Mike Evans and lost a couple of players as well. They're weird. So this is how I got it, guys. I got 2 Super Bowl contenders in each conference. I have the Texans and the Broncos in the AFC. And then I have the Rams and the Niners in the NFC. I have for the A tier teams, I have Patriots, Ravens, Bills, Bears, Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys, Detroit Lions, Los Angeles Superchargers, and your Jacksonville Jaguars and your Seattle Seahawks. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So those are my 7 NFC teams too. So I didn't do that on purpose. I just brought the tier list as is. These are my fringe playoff teams in B tier. Carolina Panthers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Washington Commanders. I'm a Commander fan, by the way, so I'm being unbiased. I don't have this in the playoffs right now. As of today, but things can change if JD stays healthy, things of that nature. Bengals, Packers, Chiefs, Vikings, Saints, instead of the Chiefs. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go on them. They're gonna make the playoffs. I'm gonna put the Jags down here. Right now where I put the Chiefs at. So Jags will be here, and then Vikings, Saints, Steelers. C tier, I have these teams that should win anywhere between 5 and 8 games. Right, 8 games on the high end, 5 on the low end. Falcons, I got them win exactly 8 games, so I got them here. I believe that the Titans will win 6 or 7 games. Same with the Colts, and I think same with the Giants. I got this D tier being 5 between 4 and 5 wins. Jets, Raiders, 4 to 6 games. I got the Jets winning 6. I got the Raiders winning 6. I got the Cardinals winning 5, and the Browns probably winning 4 or 5. And the Dolphins are in F tier by themselves because they're the worst team in football on paper. Then that's going to do it for today's video. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. When we're to 20 subscribers, hit the subscribe button, like button, share button. Comment your thoughts on today's tier list, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace, love, blessings.